Trenton High. I slowed to a stop before I walked onto campus. Everyone's still waiting for the doors to open. I pulled out my cell phone and sent Mavy a quick text. Made it. Where are you? I'm thankful I have the first period with Mavy. I can start the day off right every day. I glance down at my phone as the screen lights up. I'm waiting in the quad with Trent. Come over. Ugh, she's still with him. I step onto campus and look at the Trenton High mascot statue. It's a huge wolf standing on two legs with ripped jeans and a six-pack. When Trenton High was built, it was built by a human with a werewolf kink. I spot Mavy standing on a ledge waving at me and head over. I see Trent and nod at him. Hey, Trent, how's it? Morning, he says. The bell rings and saves the day. Time for class. Mavy bounces and grabs my arm. Later, Trent, she waves. We head to chemistry when I see Shane and a few of his friends at the door. I avoid eye contact as we walk towards the door. Shane's closest friend Liam is the oldest and the nicest out of the group. He doesn't pay attention to me and doesn't join in when Shane torments me. He's the shortest at 5'11", but with his blonde hair and blue eyes, he's easy on the eyes. Devin is Shane's right-hand man, but he's got a nasty temper. He's got inches on his friends and he's built like a rock. He's sporting a brown-haired mohawk and has dimples when he smirks. I think Shane is going to appoint him as his ater when he takes over. Shane spots us and hands Mavy her backpack. Thank you, brother, Mavy says as she kisses his cheek. I shudder and look away. It's been 4 years that I've known Mavy and Shane, and I still can't get used to how close they are. Mavy heads into class as Shane steps in front of me, blocking the door with his hand. I look up at him as he cocks his head to the side. What did you do before school? I look at his friends and they're watching us quietly. I just had to grab some stuff and I ran here. He murmurs as he moves his hand from the door. Mavy caught me looking at the door and yelled for them to go to class. I head in and see she's already bustling with excitement, talking to Nikki about the ball. I like to keep to myself at school, but Mavy's friend Nikki was in our first period too. She always talks to her and she comes to the pack house sometimes, so I don't mind her. Nikki loved that I didn't seem to have any sense of fashion. She was always trying to get me to wear something she thought I'd look good in, but I always declined. Mavy would turn to Nikki to help dress me and would pair me with cute skirts and the occasional dress. So I knew what was coming with this all. No matter how hard I tried to focus, Shane enjoyed pestering me. I wasn't sure how I should react to his attention. We have assigned seats in calculus and I sit next to him. Are you avoiding me, Addy? He said, Gabe's nickname for me, enunciating every letter. No, Shane, I didn't have time to do my homework last night, I whispered as Becca glared at me. Are you excited to go to the ball? He grabs a strand of my hair and tucks it behind my ear. He wasn't this handsy around Mavy. No, I just know that I don't have a choice when it comes to your sister. I smile. He chuckles and I still as I feel his finger sliding down my neck. I shudder and he mistakes it and thinks I like it. He leans in and inhales. You smell divine, Adea. I close my eyes as I feel his breath on my neck. I move away from him and I can feel the knives in my back as I avoid Becca's gaze. Let's talk after class, he murmurs. I can't. I'm going home with Mavy. I only need a few minutes. I have a pack meeting, so it won't take too long, Addy, he says as he sits back. I'm not sure when Shane started having an interest in me. When I first moved into the pack house, we would spend time together because of Mavy. We weren't friends. He would make that clear when it was just the two of us. Recently, he's been more physical with me. He doesn't usually do anything when Mavy's around, but after this morning at breakfast, I'm worried. The bell rings and I run for the door. Becca trips me and all of my books fly across the floor. I feel pain and look at my hand. I look up at her as I pick up my books. Whoops, I didn't see you, Addy. She snickers and heads out. Everyone at Trenton High knows that Becca has the hugest crush on him. I pick up my books and head to lunch. Don't forget Addy, Shane calls after me. Like I could forget. At lunch, I find Mavy and Nikki sitting with Shane and his friends. Adea here. I saved you a seat, Mavy sings. I smile as I head over with my cafeteria pizza. I sit on her left and Nikki on her right. So we were talking, Mavy says slyly, about shopping tomorrow after school for the ball. You need a dress, chica. Nikki is not going to let an opportunity to play Barbie with me slide by. She isn't a werewolf, but she's been close to Mavy since they were kids. She's the exception to the no telling our secret to outsiders rule. I'm tagging along to help find something poppin', and you can bet that I'm doing your makeup. I start. Mavy cuts me off. You don't have to worry about it. Daddy's buying our clothes for us, so don't use the I don't have any money excuse. I got you. She leans in and bumps my shoulder. I roll my eyes. I was prepared for this. I know I don't have a choice. Just promise me you won't make me wear something too flashy. No promises. She scrunches up her nose and beams. Seriously though, we were thinking of something simple yet elegant for you, Adea. You're already a natural beauty, but I was thinking of something that could highlight your curves and make your eyes pop. I look over and see Shane smiling at my discomfort. I've never been one to dress up, and he knows it. You can put makeup on a pig, but will it be pretty? He jokes, and his friends howl with laughter. Ha ha! You're so funny! Mavy rolls her eyes and folds her arms across her chest. Psyche! That wasn't nice, Shane. It's fine, Mavy. I know he's just kidding, I told her, trying to diffuse the situation. Why are you such an asshole, Shane? Nikki says as she gives Shane a death glare. If I could only have a pinch of Nikki's attitude, I think I'd be able to tell Shane to shove it. Come on, guys. It's almost time for class. Sorry, I took it too far. I'm sorry, Addy, he says as he blinks fast 3 times. I'm sure. See, girls, it was just a joke. Mavy and Nikki pout and glare at the boys. We decide to meet at the pack house after I make dinner for Alpha and the rest of the house. Then we'll head out. The last half of school school goes by extremely slowly. I let my mind wander to the trail in the woods, to the creek hidden in the woods. My thoughts drifted to my wolf and what she would look like. Would her hair be the same color as mine, or would she have her own physical characteristics? I was pulled from my daydreaming when the bell rang, and I felt my phone vibrate. I've got a message from Shane. Jim, now. Good girl. Trigger warning. This chapter contains sexual assault and/or violence that may be triggering to survivors. Jim, now. I grabbed my books and stuffed them into my backpack. I pulled my hair up into a bun and headed for the gym. Breathing deeply, I tried to calm myself. The gym wasn't connected to the school, so I had to leave the building and walk under the walkway until I got to the big blue doors. I wished to be able to hear my wolf. I'm sure she'd know what to say or do. I pulled open the door and stepped into the gymnasium. It was empty, and it felt eerie without kids to fill the space. It was too late to turn back. Adea Danielle Biscoff. Shane said my full name, a sly smile pulling up at the corners of his lips. My heart hammered in my chest, the hair on my arms standing up on end. I turned around and saw his eyes begin to wander. I could feel the heat from his gaze as they ran down the length of my face, traveling my neck and down my body. His eyes went up to my neck again, and they lingered there for longer than I would have liked. Thanks for coming, Adea, he murmured thoughtfully. Shane was a very controlled man, and over the last 4 years, I didn't see much emotion from him. My voice wouldn't come out. I tried to, but couldn't find the words. His eyes twinkled as he stepped towards me, and without thinking, I took a step back. This made him smile, and he closed the distance between us. I couldn't scream. I looked up at him, swallowing down my fear and discomfort. Why did I come here? The thought crossed my mind as Shane's fingers reached for my neck until they grazed my skin. His fingers pressed lightly on my neck and ran up and down, causing me to shiver. What's going on, Shane? I asked once I could trust my voice not to crack. The cold air in the gym made goosebumps break out across my skin. I was mesmerized by him. I've got to meet Mavy soon. Why did you want to meet up? I said, my voice betraying the fear I felt. He was wearing shorts and a tank top, and I was shocked when I could feel something hard against my belly. I looked down and my eyes widened in shock. I looked up at him. You always smell so fucking good, Adea, he murmured as he leaned down to my neck. The neck of a werewolf was a sensitive area. When you find your mate, you mark each other on the neck while completing the mating process. I wouldn't know who my mate was until I turned 18. While I didn't know who my mate was, I couldn't just let Shane mark me. Before I could pull away, his lips kissed my neck. His warm tongue on my neck made my knees weak. Please, don't, I begged. He closed his eyes and leaned back, inhaling deeply. His jaw tensed as he fought for control. Shane's voice was soft. When his eyes opened, they were burning into my own with the intensity of his words. Let me escort you to the ball, he said as his hand cupped my face. I'm going with Mavy and Nikki, Shane. I'm going to help her find her mate. Anger flashed in his eyes and I shook with fear. You're going to help her find her mate, or yours? He leaned in and I could feel his breath on my neck. I'm going to help her find her mate, Shane. His question and this whole situation confused me. I'll escort you into the ball. We're voting today at the pack meeting and I have a feeling it'll be at Desert Moon. I felt his hand caress my neck and slide down my chest to my waist. Shane, I don't know what you're... I couldn't finish my words as his lips came crashing down on my own. His lips were warm but rough as he searched for a way in. My lips parted as his tongue dipped into my mouth. I was shocked that Shane was kissing me. I put my hands up to push him away. He let out a growl and pushed me against the wall. My head slammed against the wall as he pinned both of my wrists above my head. Shane had me restrained against the wall and I was at his mercy. I looked up at him and his eyes were swirling. His obsidian eyes weren't pitch black anymore. There were flecks of gold in his eyes. He was breathing heavily as he stared down at me. I felt sick as I tried to break free from his hold. Please, Shane, I don't want this, I whimpered. He leaned down and kissed my neck. Shh, Adea. His other hand wandered down to the hem of my shirt. He reached under my shirt and I could feel his finger trail up closer to my breast. My breath caught as I stared at him. His lips moved to my cheek and then to my lips, searching for my tongue. He sucked on my tongue. Feeling his hot breath made me nauseous. His hand squeezed my breast and his fingers pinched my nipple. My body was getting hot as he twirled my nipple in between his fingers. He pushed against me and I could feel his hard length on my stomach. He moaned and reached for my jeans. His kisses became more fervent as his hand unbuttoned my jeans. I started to panic and thrashed against him. I bit his lip, tasting blood, and moved my mouth from his lips. No! Get off of me, please, Shane! He stared down at me in surprise. You're mine, Adea. I want to feel you writhing under me, screaming my name. He closed his eyes, and when he opened them, the gold flecks were gone. I'll stop if you agree to me escorting you. His hand fingered the band of my underwear. He's never been this way with me. Let's talk, Shane. Please let me go. I needed to get control of the situation. Agree to go with me, Addy, he murmured. Okay, I cried. Okay, just please stop. I made sure people knew I wasn't interested in dating. Not that anyone ever asked, but deep down inside, I knew I was saving myself for my mate. I'll go with you. Instead of letting go, his grip on my wrist tightened as his other hand slipped into my underwear. My eyes widened and I looked up at him. I said I'd go with you. You said you'd stop if I said I go. You can escort me, Shane. You don't. His finger slid against my slit until he inserted a finger. My body jolted with the intrusion. I closed my eyes, fighting back tears. That's right. Feel what I do to you, he whispered as his finger pushed deeper into my pussy. I couldn't find my voice. His finger pulled out and pushed into me. He groaned. You're so tight, Addy. I feel disgusted with myself as I feel my wetness coat his fingers. He leans his head against my neck and moves his fingers faster and faster. My breathing hitches as I feel something growing inside of me. He sucks on my neck and pumps his fingers harder. He inserts another finger and I can't help it when a moan escapes my lips. He nips at my neck and my pussy clenches around his fingers. He lifts his head and stares at me as a tear runs down my cheek. Shane leans in and kisses my tears as I close my eyes and turn away. Look at me, he says gruffly as his fingers continue to assault my pussy. I want to watch you come on my fingers, Addy. The feeling has grown stronger as my pussy clenches around his fingers. Look at me, his voice stern. I moan as I come all over his fingers. Good girl. He kisses my neck as he lets go of my wrists. He stares down at me as he brings his fingers to his lips and laps at my juices. I'm panting as I look away from him. He grabs my chin and brings my lips to his. This'll be our little secret, Addy. I'll see you at home. He readjusts himself and steps back and walks out of the gym doors, leaving me shocked at what just happened. I pull up my jeans and button them. Falling to the floor, I tuck my legs into my chest and sob. Cries fill the gym as I realize what just happened. My stomach clenched painfully at the thought of what Mavy would think if she found out. I wiped the tears from my face and feel pain as I stand up. This didn't happen. The thought causes me to freeze. I can't lose her. I wipe my face and stand up. This didn't happen. This never happened. I turn and push on the doors. Pretty please. Chica, where have you been? Nikki screamed as I walked towards her car. Mavy and I have been waiting for you for over half an hour. She eyed my messy bun and heated face. You look like you had fun, she purred. Mavy stepped closer to me. Have you been crying, Adea? She asked as she looked at my puffy eyes. Yeah, I'm just all over the place. School's been stressful. I grab her arm and smile. She looked at me doubtfully as I pulled her into the car. Nikki blasted the car and played Cardi B the whole way home. Mavy and I singing Be Careful With Me with a wind in our hair. Nothing like a bit of girl time to brighten a shitty day. I love this song! Nikki screamed as Press came on next. I laughed as I watched Mavy twerk against Nikki's face. My smile dropped when we pulled up to the pack house gates. One of the guards walked up to the car and inspected the vehicle before he nodded for the other guard to let us in. Thanks, Pappy, Nikki said as she blew the guard a kiss. I laughed at Nikki's confidence. For a human, she had no fear whatsoever. We pulled into the pack house driveway and she dropped us off with a few minutes to spare before dinner. The pack house was quiet, so I mentally fist pumped the air knowing everyone was out. Are you sure you're okay, Adea? Mavy's concerned look almost brought the tears back. I'm really okay, Maeve. I've just got a lot on my mind, I reassured her. I bite my lip as guilt hits me in waves. Well, I cannot wait to watch Nikki do your makeup for the ball. Maybe we can practice tomorrow before we go shopping. She seemed to believe me and dropped the subject. She batted her lashes and gave me doe eyes. No, no way, I laughed. Please, she begged. No, pretty please with a cherry on top, she asked. Nope, with sparkly sprinkles too? Still no, I repeated. What if we walk down memory lane? She bargained. Chance to jump on Daddy's couch. I stayed quiet, pretending to think it over. Okay, fine, I agreed, her face transforming into a goofy smile as she pulled me over to the sofa. We had a good solid 5 minutes of jumping up and down before we heard the door open. Mavy and Adea, get off my couch, Alpha Joshua's voice ordered as he walked into the living room. Aren't you too old to be jumping on the couch, he says as his eyes twinkle. You always spoil the fun, Daddy, Mavy grumbled, getting off the couch and crossing her arms like a child. Alpha Joshua was over 6 feet and had beautiful brown hair. His face hadn't aged a day since I got here. I got you chocolates from the pack meeting, Mavy. You could share them with Adea, he told us as he walked closer with the chocolates in his hands. Sweet. I was wondering what snacks they'd have at the meet for the alphas. I love these meetings, she squealed, rushing up to him as he embraced her in a hug. Whenever there's an alpha meeting, we know there are always sweet treats and amazing food. When we were younger, Alpha Joshua would bring us a plate of goodies. Thank you, Alpha. At this point, I was standing next to the couch. He reached over and gave me a hug. You girls smell like unmated males, he says as he scrunches up his nose. He looks at me knowingly and I purse my lips and avoid eye contact. Both of us? Mavy asks and shoots me a glance. Mavy must have rubbed off on me, Alpha. Alphas are bigger, better, and their senses are 10 times stronger than the average wolf. I know he could see through my lie. Alpha Joshua murmurs. He seemed to be mulling something over as Mavy ripped open the bag of chocolates. Well, I'm going to get started on dinner. We just got home and got distracted by the couch. I laugh, nervously itching to get away from his knowing stare. You don't want any chocolates? Mavy's grey eyes grew wide with disbelief. I can have some later if you save any. I laugh. I start making my way towards the kitchen when Mavy asks her dad where the ball will be held. The ball will be held at Desert Moon, he says. She squeals and grabs onto my arm. We have a chance at finding our mates, Adea. My body becomes stiff, worried she'll smell Shane on me. We never get to see the unmated males at Desert Moon. They got a new alpha about 2 years ago, and Daddy hasn't had a chance to speak to their alpha about an alliance. Everyone's heard of the Desert Moon Pack's new alpha. His father took Desert Moon by force, and so we're going to practice and do your makeup when Nikki picks us up tomorrow. I give her a side glance. Don't even, Adea. We made a deal. She smiles as we walk down the hall. She turns her head towards me and comes to a stop. Adea, I can hear the caution in her voice, and I hold my breath. Yes, Mavy? I whisper quietly. Why? She shakes her head and grabs onto my arm tighter. Never mind. I wish tomorrow night was here already. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. It'll be nice to have some girl time, I say honestly. It's been a while since I've gotten out of the house for something other than school. Adea, Gabe says as he sees me enter the kitchen. I've already started cooking the chicken. Do you mind cutting up the vegetables for me? I give him a side hug. Of course I got this. Sorry, I'm late, I tell him as I grab the potatoes that are next to the sink. Gabe takes a deep breath and he stops stirring the chicken around. He turns and looks at me as I start peeling the potatoes. Gabe turns to Mavy. How's Trent treating you, Maeve? Mavy giggles and blushes. We're just friends, Gabe. From what I've seen, the feelings are mutual. The two of you just need to admit it now. He gives her a knowing smile. Shane was saying I should see if Trent can escort me, but I want him to ask me first. She turns to me. He also said he could escort you in if you didn't have someone to walk you in, Adea. I stare intensely at the potatoes as I start cutting them. If it isn't weird for my brother to escort you, that is. No pressure. I turn to her and smile. I'd appreciate it. Gabe stares at me as I turn back to the potatoes. The rest of the evening goes on like any other night, with Gabe singing to whatever is playing on his wireless speaker and Mavy laughing from the table. We made chicken, potatoes, and sautéed vegetables. I set the table and slipped out before anyone could show up for dinner. Earthquake. As I headed to my room, I could smell his scent all over me. My body craved a shower. I made it to my room and grabbed what I needed. My room was on the small side, but thankfully I had my own bathroom. I turn on the hot water and put my stuff in the sink. Pulling my hair out of its bun and taking my clothes off, I quickly hop into the shower. The hot water burned on my skin as I recalled what happened in the gym. I scrubbed my neck and my chest, trying to wash the memory away. What was that? And why did I let it happen? Did I like it? Tears fell down my face and mixed with the water. I squeezed my legs to my chest and let myself cry, letting the water wash it all away. I've loved reading ever since I was little. I first came across the library a few weeks after I moved in. The smell of the books piqued my curiosity, and I found a safe space to escape to. I knew I'd find you here. I look up and see Shane standing by the door. His hair is wet, and he's wearing a new pair of shorts. His tight white t-shirt left little to the imagination. Mavy's head peeks in. We were looking for you. Devin walks through the door next, ducking his head down to get in. At 6'6", he was not only tall, but massive. His hair was brown, and his eyes were a deep chocolate brown. He spots me and sneaks a glance at Mavy. We found her. Thanks for your help, Devin, Shane says. Mavy comes and sits down next to me. Becca wanted me to tell you to answer your phone, Shane. She shoots him a glare. You really need to watch who you stick your dick into. What if you get someone pregnant? She wrinkles her nose at the thought of Becca as a sister-in-law. Shane laughs and Devin looks at me. I don't plan on producing an heir just yet, little sister. He glances at me and I feel a wave of nausea hit. I did want to tell you that I'm going to be announcing Devin as my beta on our birthday, Mavy. Gasp! She covers her mouth and looks at Devin. That's great news. You've always been good to us, Devin, Mavy says as she leans into Devin, giving him a big hug. Devin wraps his arms around her waist. Thanks, Maeve. He smiles down at her. Shane clears his throat and Devin steps away from her. Congrats, Devin. I'm not surprised he chose you as his beta. I smile at him. Yeah? He gives me a sly grin. It's not official yet, but I've already started helping our future alpha with little tasks. Just today I guarded the gym door as he played with his new toy. I blanch. Ew, gross, Devin. I did not need to know that. Ugh. Mavy covers her ears with her hands. I swallow and look at Shane. My beta knows everything, he says. Great, I think to myself. I watch Shane laugh and reach over to Mavy, grabbing her hands down from her ears. Okay, he's stopped now. She shoots Devin a glare. Could you please keep my brother's shagging to yourself? I do not want to know who he's banging. Shane shrugs. Men have needs, little sister. He laughs and dodges her slap. Whatever, just please at least wrap it up, she pleads. I watched as Devin lightly flirts with Mavy and laughed at their cuteness. It was clear that Devin had a soft spot for her. If it wasn't for Trent, I think there could have been something there. When Mavy and I started to yawn, the group dispersed and we all headed to our rooms. I bumped into Gabe on the way back to my room. Adea! He bellowed, wrapping his arms around me. I stiffened. Hey, Gabe, I replied before he finally released me from his air hug. Where have you been? You disappeared before dinner, he slurred. He was clearly a little buzzed. Sorry, Gabe. I needed to escape reality for a few hours. I got lost in a few books. Gabe wrapped his arm around my neck as he walked with me towards my room. Do you want to tell me why you smell like Shane, Adea? He asked in a hushed whisper. I hoped he hadn't caught Shane's scent on me when we were cooking. I'm surprised you didn't ask me earlier, Gabe. He smiled as we entered my room. You've had a little too much to drink, I laugh as he jumps on the bed. Gabe sits up and pulls Smirnoff mini bottles from his pockets. If you don't want to talk about it, let's drink about it, he says with a mischievous smile. A couple of hours and many rounds of shots later, I was tipsy. Gabe was laying flat on his back as I downed the last bottle. I got up to turn off the lights before jumping back into bed. Gabe screams, "Earthquake!" Sitting cross-legged next to him, I laugh. No, Gabe, it's just me. I slap his arm. The room is swirling and I'm feeling lightheaded. I lay back on the bed next to him in the dark. My room was small, but with the lights off, I could see my glow-in-the-dark stars up on the ceiling. I feel my body relax and my mind getting fuzzy. The room is quiet except for the sounds of our breathing. Are you okay, Adea? Gabe whispers as he turns his eyes to me. I turn my head to him and look into his eyes. I can never hide anything from him. Gabe is always in there, and he knows me more than I know myself. A tear escapes and drips onto my pillow. Shh, he whispers and turns to me. It's okay, baby. It's okay. He pulls me into another bear hug. This time it doesn't make me shiver. It feels warm as he strokes my hair. I let the darkness take over as I listen to his comforting whispers. Mine. Adea. The air in my my lungs feels like ice as I struggle to keep running. Run, Adea, my wolf encourages weakly. I get to the end of the hall when I swerve down the stairs, scraping my shoulder against the stone wall. I wince in pain, but all I can do is propel my feet forward. The sound of growls and meat ripping can be heard from outside. I reach the bottom of the step and I can feel my wolf's urgency, feeling the wolfsbane still in my system, draining my wolf's strength. I push my feet to move faster to fight the vomit from coming up. Bracing myself for the locked door, I crouch down and notice the white of my dress getting dirty on the floor. I charge for the door and smack into the tall wooden door, pain erupting through my shoulder. Please, 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 my wolf and I say at the same time. I turn around and walk back to the stairs. Stealing my resolve, I inhale deeply as I face the door, gathering what little strength I have left. I charge for the door. To my relief, the door smashes open. I was blinded. All I could hear was the ringing in my ears. A wolfsbane grenade must have gone off as the door opened. Squinting through the fog, everything was moving in slow-mo. Find him, my wolf pleaded. I'm trying, Cora. I'm trying, I whined. I lifted my nose into the air, but the wolfsbane still lingering in my system dulls my senses. I tried to mind-link Mavy, but I couldn't hear her. My heart drops knowing that means she was either knocked out or I stumbled over a body and stared in shock at familiar eyes. I realize the eyes belong to Gabriel, and my wolf howls in agony at the loss of a dear friend. I opened my mouth to scream, but nothing came out. Leave him, Adea. There's no time to mourn right now. We must find our mate. Pulling myself away, I rushed past the arms, legs, and heads of more familiar faces. Fumbling in my weakened human state, I tried to find him. In the corner of my eye, I saw movement. I turned and saw a pile rise up and fall as a shape I recognized pushed up through the bodies. Seeing his black hair, my heart swells. He pulls himself through, and I do a quick once-over and notice he's naked. His body is painted in blood, his chest and abs beautiful as ever and unharmed. His eyes lock on mine, and I can see the relief flood his face. He stands up, and I can feel the need to touch him grow and almost explode as he starts towards me. I can feel his need and his relief. Cora is mentally wagging her tail and urging me to run to him when I feel his shock. Shock fills his eyes, and we frantically try to see what's wrong. I look down at his chest. He's ripped open. There's fresh blood seeping from his chest, and my heart grows cold when the mate bond snaps. Cora howls in agony. Pain. I feel a gut-wrenching pain as I fall to the ground. I can't rip my eyes away from my mate. He falls to the ground as I crawl to him. I hear footsteps moving away from him. Cora is whining in my head. We're too engrossed to notice when the footsteps get closer. There's a sound near my head as he drops something. I feel a slight hair as he grabs my hair, wrenching me along with him. He drops something near my head and grabs my hair, wrenching me along with him. Cora retreats to the farthest part of my mind. The world is quiet and still. My mate is just out of reach when he starts dragging me away. Goddess knows where to. I can't pull my eyes from the empty eyes of my mate. I hit my head and welcome the cold consciousness that takes me. Author warning. The following section has mature content that may be a trigger for some people. My body is moving back and forth. I strain against the darkness that's trying to keep me under. My hands are restrained and I try to open my eyes. I can hear heavy breathing and feel a hot breath against my cheek. I'm being pressed back and released. Something wet along my neck. I start to panic when I hear grunting. Adea, he moans. Sharp teeth clamp down on my bottom lip, drawing blood. My body is still keeping that rhythmic motion. I've waited too long for you. My eyes open and I see long black hair above me. His eyes aren't looking at me. They're focused down on something between us. As my eyes trail down his bare chest, his abs flexing and his hips thrusting, I watch as his hard cock pulls out of me. His eyes close and he moans as he thrusts into me to the hilt, making my body jerk back. Repeating the movements, he starts moving faster. A loud ringing in my ears threatens to split my head open. My hands are still restrained. Cora, I whispered as I called her. I can't hear or feel my wolf. I whimper when I feel his hard cock thrust into my warmth, causing pain. His eyes snap open, and I feel his hand clench my throat as his cold, lust-filled eyes locked onto mine. The warmth I once saw there was completely gone. I chose you then, and I choose you now, he murmurs. He leans down, trailing his lips along my neck. Having no fight left in me, I close my eyes, his grip on me tightening as he continues ravaging me. I hear his canines extend and feel them poised at my neck. Sinking his canines deep into my neck, I scream as his thrusts quicken. He comes undone and licks my wound to seal his mark. I feel his seed fill me as he growls, mine.
I am your alpha. Warning, the following section has mature content that may be a trigger for some people. Shane. I woke up that morning to a she-wolf under my sheets. Fuck. I let out a quiet moan. Her lips were wrapped around my already hardened cock. She lay in between my legs and I watched as her head bobbed up and down. Good morning, alpha. She purrs with her mouth full. I didn't bother removing the sheets to look at her. I closed my eyes and imagined Adea's long brown hair in my hands, her soft lips wrapped around my dick hitting the back of her throat. I groan as I feel her tongue sliding up the side of my shaft. Fuck. She removes my dick from her mouth and takes my balls in her mouth. She wraps her hand around my cock and I almost come when I feel her warm tongue on my balls. She's licking me like she can't get enough. My toes curl as she continues licking my balls like melting ice cream. She grips my cock in her hand and slurps on my tip before moving back down to my balls. Her hand slides up and down my shaft and at the same time, she sucks on my sack. Her movements speed up a little and I lay there and let her lead for a few minutes. I can feel myself getting closer, so I grab her hair, pulling pulling her mouth open. I thrust my hips into her mouth and sigh when I feel her throat tighten around my cock. Yes, I hissed as I thrust up into her mouth. She cries in pleasure. Taking advantage of my need, she grips my cock and starts twisting her mouth in circular motions. My thrusts become faster as I chase my orgasm. I push her up and down as she sucks and licks my shaft. Adea, I moan as I hit the back of her throat and feel her swallow as my cum slides down her throat. She pushes the sheet off and glares at me. Are you fucking serious right now? She's clearly upset as her hazel eyes burn holes into my head. What? I shrug, trying not to laugh. You moaned Adea's name as you fucked my throat. She sits up and crosses her arms in front of her chest. Such a dick move, Shane. I sigh and sit up before brushing the loose strands of hair off of her face. I've been fucking Becca for 2 years now. I know she's got feelings for me, but she's a good lay. She's pretty, but I just needed a quick fix. Adea's cheekbones are so perfectly defined. Imagining her cheeks sucking my cock drives me insane. She's got these plump lips and she's got this cute button nose. Becca's got short blonde hair and she's tiny. The top of her head barely reaches my chest and her body has just the right curves. She's an easy lay and I'll do the bare minimum to keep her around. You've pleased your alpha, Becca. Now get out. She huffs and sticks out her bottom lip. She gets off of the bed and picks up her dress, shimming as she pulls it up over her tits. She reaches over the dresser to grab her bag and phone, flashing me her plump wet pussy. I feel my cock twitch as I watch her slowly lay on the dresser and pop her ass up to give me a good view. Are you disobeying me, Becca? I murmur as she lays her head down and shows me her neck. I jump up and slowly walk over to her. Looking down, I see her eyes closed and her neck offered up to me. Grabbing her hip, I hold her down and lean back so I can watch as I slide my finger down her slit. She's wet and ready for me. No, alpha. I lick her pussy to clit and she squirms under my touch. You've been a bad girl. She whimpers as I slide 2 fingers into her and watch as my fingers disappear inside of her wet warmth. She moans. I only mean to please you, alpha. I've been a good girl. Do you want a reward? I say as I watch my fingers pump in and out of her pussy fast and hard. I watch as her arousal seeps down her clit. The sounds of my fingers sliding in and out of her make my cock harden. I growled in approval as she clenched around my fingers. I lean down, stick my tongue into her pussy, and continue finger fucking her. She's wriggling and moaning under my touch, and I lap up her juices. I continue finger fucking her tight cunt as I stand up. I position my tip at her clit and remove my fingers. Becca, I murmur. Yes, alpha, she pants. Becca tries pushing her ass against me, and I grab her waist to keep her still. I am your alpha, I murmur. You are my alpha, she moans, gyrating her hips as she searches for some relief. I will call you what I want, I tell her. I slide my tip up and down her open slit and she moans. Be obedient and take what I give you. Can you do that for me, Becca? She's quiet as I slide my tip up and down her wet opening. When I stop, she groans. Yes, alpha, just please, fuck me. Good girl, I say, and in one hard thrust, I've buried my cock into her warm cunt. She screams out in pleasure and lifts her hips up, offering herself to me. I pull myself out of her and look down as I thrust deep and hard into her pussy. She moves forward with each thrust. I don't even care that the dresser is banging against the wall. This pussy is mine, Adea, I moan as I fuck her pussy. All yours, she pants as I thrust in and out of her. I can feel her clenching on my cock and I thrust into her over and over again, watching as her body bounces off of me. The sound of my skin slapping against hers is only adding to the fire. Fuck, Adea, I moan as she comes on my dick. I keep fucking her as she continues squeezing my cock. I thrust into her a few more times before I reach my climax, emptying my seed into her cunt. Stepping back, I pull out of her and grab a towel. She's out of breath on the dresser. I'm going to shower. See yourself out. Make sure no one sees you, I command as I open the bathroom door. I hear a sob as the door closes. My heart skipped. Shane, 4 years ago, I hated hospitals. The beeping noises, the smell of medicine, the sound of high heels clacking on the floor. Mavy was pulling on my arm. Hurry up, Shane. You're not even trying to walk fast. I'm coming, I grumbled. It's not like she's going to be awake. We've been visiting all week. She turned her head and glared at me, pulling on my arm again. There was an accident that left 2 rogues dead and their daughter in a coma. There was a pack meeting where our father saved this pup from being killed. Most packs would kill rogues when they stumble onto their territory, but my father, Alpha Joshua, was kind and compassionate. He saw Mavy when he looked at this girl and couldn't give the order to kill her. Mavy's made it her personal duty to visit her every day since. Mavy pushes the door open and gasps. I stick my head in and see her. She's not laying lifeless like she normally is. She's sitting up looking around like a scared little mouse. Her brown hair is messy and her chocolate brown eyes are filled with fear. I sit in the corner and watch Mavy bounce over to her, oozing excitement. What's your name? Mavy asks with a huge smile on her face. The girl drops her head and looks up at her shyly. My name's Adea, she whispers in a quiet voice. Will you have to enroll at our school? How old are you? What grade are you in? Slow down, child. She literally just woke up. The nurse laughs. Mavy blushes and looks back at Adea. I'm 13 and I'm in the 8th grade. She smiles, showing a dimple in both cheeks. I'm Mavy and this is my twin brother Shane. I look out the window as her head turns. I feel her eyes roam my face. She doesn't stop, so I turn and look at her. Hi, I smirk. She blushes, turning back to Mavy. Interesting. My wolf murmurs. What is it, Max? I ask him. Something draws me to her, he says. What about her? I probe. I'm not sure, he says before retreating to the back of my mind. We're not supposed to get our wolves until we're 18, but I've been able to hear mine for a year now. I haven't told anyone about it because I know it's not normal. I'm not sure how my parents would react. I haven't told Mavy either. I shuffle my feet. We tell each other everything, but Maximus thinks I should keep it a secret for a few more years. It's unheard of to hear your wolf early, and I don't want to have to explain what happened when I first heard him. Maximus first spoke to me when I kissed a girl after school. We were sitting on the stairs to the cafeteria. She was pretty and wanted to talk to me after school. She leaned in and gave me a hug. She kissed my neck, and I started feeling a wave of different feelings wash over me. She looked up at me, and I leaned down until our lips met. She's not our mate. You shouldn't be doing this, he growled. I was so shocked I pushed her away, and she hit a wall. She looked at me, got up, and ran away. What the fuck? Who are you? Am I going crazy? He had a low voice and laughed. I'm the other half of your soul. My name is Maximus. You'll be staying in our pack house, so you'll have me and Shane, Mavy said happily, breaking me from my daydream. Adea has been living with us for 2 weeks. She's clumsy and has started making the pack house meals. Her food isn't bad, but I avoid her unless Mavy forces me to. I'm sitting in my room throwing my basketball up in the air and catching it when Mom knocks on my door. She opens the door and peeks her head in. Your father and I need to speak with you. Dad mind links me. Come to my office, son. Yes, sir. The link cuts and I get up. Behave, Shane, Max says to me. I get up and make my way to the end of the hall and knock twice before entering. My dad is sitting at his desk when I walk in. Mom is standing next to him with her hand on his shoulder. Dad gets up, grabs Mom's hand and comes around the table. Have a seat, he says gruffly. My dad was strong, humble, and always did what he thought was right. He was a good alpha, and as a young pup, I looked up to him. We received a call from the school today notifying us of you pushing Becca down. Mom sits down next to me. Is this true? She asks quietly. I feel panic rush through my body and I refuse to look at her. What do you have to say for yourself, Shane? My father asks. Look at me, son. He uses his alpha force to make me meet his eye. She was kissing me when I— Don't tell them about me, Maximus says, cutting me off. It's not what it looks like. I didn't mean to use that much force. I wasn't thinking. She got up and ran away. We don't hit girls, Shane. Ever. Men shouldn't ever use their strength against the weaker sex. My dad says. I can see the restraint in his eyes. His wolf is also angry at me. I cower under his gaze. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I thought I raised you better. He looks down at the ground. I'm disappointed in you. My mom sobs. You are grounded until next week. No practice, no games, no friends. You are to stay in this house and I'll assign you chores to do. But Dad, I have a game. Don't cut me off, he yells, his eyes glowing, his wolf fighting for control. You're dismissed. He stands up and walks to his desk. I stand up and leave. As soon as I close the door behind me, the tears fall. I've never disappointed my parents before. I've never been the golden child, but I've always tried my best to please them. I walk down the hall and turn down the stairs. They didn't even try to hear me out. Father is right, Maximus says. I don't want to hear it from you. This is all your fault, I scream aloud. I run down the stairs bumping into someone. Looking down, I see Adea sprawled on the ground. I'm sorry. I didn't mean, she says, stopping when she looks up at me. Are you okay? She asks. Standing up, she reaches for me. Yeah, I say, before she wraps her arms around my shoulders, pulling me into a hug. I try to move away, but her arms tighten around me, and I feel my wolf stir. I inhale, and her scent pulls me in, and I unconsciously wrap my arms around her. My heart skips. What the fuck? Now, Shane. After that day on the stairs, I kept my distance from Adea. Her scent, her smell, they drive me crazy. My plan to stay away from her worked for a few years. We saw each other every day, but I made sure to avoid her. My friends started to notice her as she started to grow up. Her tits came in, her hips curved, and her ass got fat. I took out my jealousy on her. This way, I could speak to her without getting too close. Deciding to make my way down to the kitchen, I put my AirPods in my ears. Rounding the corner, I collide with Gabe. Excuse me, Shane, he says, as he moves to the side. I stop and look at him. Where are you headed? I've got to wake Adea. I need to make sure she doesn't sleep in, he says, bowing his head. I've always hated how close Gabe and Adea were. I met her first, yet Gabe's close enough to go to her room. An image of Gabe over Adea makes me frown. I continue walking down the stairs and sit in the living room while I wait for Mavy to come down. Pulling an AirPod out, I hear Mavy and Gabe come down the stairs. Hearing a bit of their conversation, I smile when I hear Adea tell him she doesn't want to hear anything about his sexcapades. After waiting a few minutes, I make my way to the kitchen. Mavy's already sitting at the table watching Adea and Gabe cook. I walk in and give Adea a quick once-over. She's wearing her usual jeans and hoodie combo, her hair piled on top of her head in an effortless messy bun. After setting the table, Adea sits down between Mavy and I. I watch as she pushes her food around on her plate while we discuss the upcoming ball. There was a pack meeting today after school that I had to attend. Half Moon hosted it last year, as well as let the other packs know that I would be stepping up as alpha when I turn 18. Trent is coming over before school. If you want to hitch a ride with us, Adea, Mavy asks, looking at Adea hopefully. It's okay, Mavy. I've got to get some stuff done before school, but you can go ahead. What stuff does she need to do? Thinking about her alone with Gabe or any other man has me seeing red. What have you got to do, Addy? Scrub the toilets? I spit. Shit, I said that out loud. My father glares at me and shoots me a warning. Yes, Alpha? I ask with a smirk. My wolf is coming to the surface, fighting for control. My sister reaches over Adea and slaps my shoulder. Shane, don't be such a dick. She's not a slave. Thinking of all the things I'd do to Adea if she was a slave has my cock pitching a tent. Thankfully, Mavy apologizes to her, and they don't notice. Her hoodie is raised, and I can see her exposed back. A smile pulls at the corner of my lips, and before I know what I'm doing, I reach over and caress her lower back. Her back stiffens as I pretend to be looking at my plate before facing her. You know I'm just joking around, don't you, Addy? Gabe clenches his fists and gives me a side glance before turning his body to watch Addy. Yeah, I knew you were joking, she says quietly. I let my fingers trail down her back. Mavy mumbles something, and their conversation drifts towards the ball. Before I know it, Adea is saying goodbye to my parents. I can't bite back the words. See you, Addy, I call after her, watching her hips sway as she walks out of the kitchen. It's getting harder to stay away. Before heading to school, I pick up Liam and Devin. I've known these guys since the diaper days. Mavy didn't need a ride? Devin asks. His infatuation with my sister peeved me. Trent got her, I say, with my eyes never leaving the road. He's never acted on it, but I know he likes her. In all honesty, I wouldn't mind them together, but my sister has her heart set on finding her mate. She thinks her mate is Trent, but she's not the moon goddess. No one knows who she's chosen for us until we meet them. We make our way to Mavy and Adea's first period class. She forgets her shit all the time. If she didn't have her head attached, she'd probably lose it. We're waiting outside the classroom for a couple of minutes when they show up. My little sister thanks me and gives me a peck on the cheek. She heads into class with Adea when I quickly block her path. What did you do before school? I ask Adea, inhaling and smelling the woods on her. I just had to grab some stuff, she quickly replies. I murmur as I move my hand. She stays still waiting for permission when Mavy yells at me to go to class. I laugh as I head out with the boys. Do you like her? Liam asks, nudging my shoulder. Devin is looking the other way, but I know he's listening. I look at Liam, his blue eyes sparkling with interest. I shrug as we head to class. You've been paying more and more attention to her. If I didn't know better, I'd say you want something from her. He presses. Devin's opening his locker and shoving his books in. Are we going to the gym after school, Alpha? Devin asks. I smirk and nod my head. Of course, I gotta keep this physique somehow, don't I? I let my hands roam slowly down my body. Devin laughs and Liam pouts. Can't we do something else after school? I hate going to the gym right after. Let's go to the movies or something. Devin rolls his eyes. We're trying to bulk up, Liam. You should come. Liam sighs. Nah, I'm just gonna go home. I can't go to the gym every day like you guys. I need some downtime. I couldn't keep my eyes off of her at lunch. Becca tried talking to me, and I ignored her. Following my gaze, she scowled when she saw what caught my attention. Leaning on the table to block my view, her fingers caressed my shirt. Not now, Becca, I growled, pushing her hand away. She sat up and folded her arms across her chest, pouting like a fucking child. Such a turn on. When the girls left the table, I noticed a few guys checking out Adea's ass. I got their attention when I kicked the table. What the fuck are you looking at? My voice was low and menacing. Hearing Hearing the threat, they lowered their eyes. She stayed on my mind the rest of the day. Sensing my mood, Devin stayed quiet. Thoughts of her with another man ate at me. What if someone makes a move? What if someone asks her to the ball? What if she gets a boyfriend? Trying to calm down, I closed my eyes and took deep breaths. By the end of the day, I had zero fight in me. Reaching into my shorts pocket, I pulled out my phone. As the bell rang, I sent her a text. Jim, now. Claim her. Trigger warning. This chapter contains sexual assault and/or violence that may be triggering to survivors. Shane. Jim, now. Before I could stop myself, I sent the message. Grabbing my stuff, I signaled Devin while I headed out. What's up? He linked me. I have to make a stop before we head out. I linked back. I shoved my stuff into my locker, and he did the same. Something wrong? He asked. I just need you to come with me. Yes, Alpha. He nodded and followed me as I walked out of the building. We walked in silence on our way to the gym. In the distance, I see Adea disappear in the gym. As we get closer, I turn to him. Keep watch. I don't want anyone interfering with our talk. I don't need to use my alpha blood to command him. Devin always listens to me. As we pull up to the gym doors, he bows his head in understanding. I open one of the blue doors and step into the gym. We're just going to have a talk. I try to convince Max. I call out her name and she looks like a deer stuck in the headlights. I can't hold back a smile that breaks out across my face. She looks cute even when she's frightened, my wolf murmured. I can't help checking her out. I'm free to do what I want since there's no one around. She's gorgeous as always. Her jeans can't hide her curves, her neck bare. I look away as the thought of marking her crosses my mind. Thanks for coming, Adea, I murmured, trying not to let her hear the lust in my voice. She was silent. I took a step towards her and she took a step back, making me smile. The next thing I knew, I was right in front of her. I finally had her all to myself. The thoughts of being with her wore down my ability to stay away. Reaching for her neck, I couldn't help it when my fingers trailed her skin. So soft. My wolf sighs almost painfully. I trail my fingers up and down her neck, stopping when she shivered. What's going on, Shane? She asked. Her eyes focused on me, not looking away. I've got to meet Mavy soon. Why did you want to meet up? She asked fearfully. She's afraid, Maximus murmured. I could mentally see him focusing on her, feeling his need for her. Having her so close to us, inhaling her scent, is so intoxicating. Maximus takes control. Breathing her scent in deeply, my dick hardens. Her eyes widen as she feels me. She looks down and looks up. You always smell so fucking good, Adea. We murmur. He leans down to her neck. Don't mark her, Max. We can't do that, I say firmly. She'd be ours if we made her ours. He growls at me. We're interrupted by her plea. Please, don't. Closing our eyes, I fight for control. Let me escort you to the ball. I cup her face with my hand. We need to slow down, Max. We want her to want us. I'm going with Mavy and Nikki, Shane. I'm going to help her find her mate. Max growls in anger. She's going to find her mate. Take her now, Shane, or I will. You're going to help her find her mate, or yours? I asked. I'm going to help her find her mate, Shane. She looked cute when she got mad. Her nose wrinkled up and her eyebrows furrowed together. She looked like a bunny. I'll escort you into the ball. We're voting today at the pack meeting and I have a feeling it'll be a desert moon. The image of someone else's arm around her waist brings me to the edge. I need to touch her. If I can just put my scent on her. Shane, I don't know what you're... I bring my lips to her. I'm thirsty and her lips are water. I need her. I felt myself losing control. I needed more of her. She tried to push me away, growling. I pushed her against the wall. I need control. Grabbing her hands, I held her wrists above her head. My breath catches as I look down at her. She's flawless. Her big brown eyes look up at me. I've got her in one place, under my control. Take her, Max growls. No, I rasp as I try to fight his control. Please, Shane, I don't want this. She whimpers. I lean down and kiss her neck. I don't want her to fear me. Shh, Adea. I soothe her. She's pure. We can't take her yet. I tell Max. Claim her, Shane, or I'll take her, Max warns. I let my hand slowly slide down her body. Reaching under her shirt, I move slowly up her stomach until I reach her breast. She's enjoying it too, Max moans. I need more of her, he demands. My lips trail her cheek, searching for her lips. When I find the entrance, my tongue brings her tongue out, and I suck on her tongue hard. My hands caressing her breast, I roll her nipple between my fingers and pinch. Her bottom lip trembles, and her body shudders. I pushed my cock against her stomach, needing to feel her against me. Max and I moan at the same time, and he reaches for her jeans. I need her now, he groans. I'm kissing her soft, swollen lips and unbuttoning her jeans. She's pushing against me, and I taste blood as she bites me. Fuck, I like when they put up a fight, Max groans. No, get off of me. Please, Shane. You're mine, Adea. I want to feel you writhing under me, screaming my name. Reining in control, taking a deep breath, I try to calm down. I'll stop if you agree to me escorting you. We're not stopping yet, Shane. Max growls. I know, calm down. If she can agree to go with us, we can get another chance with her. I try to reassure him. Okay, she cries. Okay, just please stop. I'll go with you. Before I knew it, my hand slipped beneath the fabric. Her eyes widened, and she looked sexy as she looked up at me. Let's talk, Shane. Please, let me go. I said I'd go with you. You said you'd stop if I said I'd go. You can escort me, Shane. You don't. She goes quiet as I slide my finger against her slit. She's so soft, Max murmurs. We're both aroused and we're mesmerized as I insert a finger into her soft heat. She's so tight, and I groan internally. Her body jolts upwards at the new intrusion. Closing her eyes, I whisper, that's right, feel what I do to you. I push my finger deeper into her tight warmth. I pull my finger out and push into her again. You're so tight, Adie. I groan as her wetness drips down my finger. I lean against her neck and move my fingers faster and faster into her depths. Her body slowly moved up and down with the rhythm. She's enjoying it, Max moans. I suck on her neck when I feel her core tightening around my finger, so I add another finger and pump into her. She moans and I nip at her neck. The feeling of her pussy clenching my fingers makes me think of what it would feel like if her tight pussy was wrapped around my cock. Thinking of my cock replacing my fingers, I look up and see a tear run down her cheek. I kiss her. Look at me, I say gruffly while my fingers speed up. Imagining her pussy clenching around my hard cock as I fuck her has me tensing up. I want to watch you come on my fingers, Adie. She's close. Look at me. She raises her head and looks me in the eyes as she comes on my fingers. Fuck, Max groans. She's fucking beautiful, he murmurs. Good girl, I say appreciatively. I kiss her neck and realize I'm still holding her wrists. I stare at her and bring my fingers to my lips. I lap her juices up as I watch her breathing heavily. She looks away shyly. Grabbing her chin, I pull her back to me and kiss her lips. Can't have her telling Mavy about this. This'll be our little secret, Adie. I'll see you at home. My cock is standing on end. I readjust myself and mind link Devin. Coming out, he opens the door, smirking. Ready to work out? He laughs. Shoving his shoulder, I smirk back. I need to work this off. As soon as we were off campus, we shifted and ran to the gym to work out. 2 hours later, I let him know I needed to head to the pack house. I'll see you later, man, I tell him. I'm feeling better after going ham. He bows, and I wave to him over my shoulder before shifting and heading home. I can't wait to see her squirm, Maximus murmurs. I'm satisfied knowing she smells like us, but as we run, I can't help but agree. She's cute when she's under us, I murmured. Thoughts of our time with her earlier stays on my mind. The wind in our hair feels amazing. The ground under our paws as we thunder towards the pack house. I can't wait to see her, I whispered, looking up at the night sky.
Another day, Adea. I woke up in the morning with the sun blazing through the window, groaning as I drift out of sleep and back into the terrible hangover that was only worsening by the minute. I don't know which was worse, the drilling in my head or what I remembered from the dream. Closing my eyes, I try to remember what I can. In my dream, my wolf's name was Hora, and the only difference between this dream and the last is that there was something bad that happened. After I was was dragged away. Images of my mate's face were blurry, but the emotions were all still strong. Who was that after? Who dragged me away? I couldn't see his face, but I knew him. I've never been with a man, but everything felt so real. He even said my name. I wish there was a witch I could talk to. Witches aren't allowed on Packlands. I sigh, shaking my head in defeat. There goes that idea. Pulling myself up, I stare out the window. What's the point of these dreams? Will they ever stop? Gabe tossed and turned next to me. Ugh, who turned off the lights? He groaned. I giggle as I watch him reaching aimlessly for an imaginary lamp by the bedside. I completely forgot he was here. It isn't light, it's the sun. And you're in my room. I don't have a lamp, so you can stop reaching for it. I laugh. Remind me why we thought it would be a good idea to get hammered last night. I try to wipe the tiredness from my face when I feel a sharp pain. Ugh, I'm a lightweight, Gabe. You shouldn't have let me keep going. I grumble as I walk away, but can't fight the smile. I sit there for a few minutes before I catch myself nodding off. Gabe, I look over at him. He's not moving, and I move closer to him. Gabe is oddly silent. I nudge him. Assuming he went back to sleep, I continued nudging him until he's at the edge of the bed. Eyeing his round butt, I use my foot and kick him over the edge of the bed. Fuck, he yells as he hits the floor. Wake up, Gabe, I say as I roll over and stand above him. Okay, but why are you yelling? He groans, turning away from me. It's time for Cinderella to get up, and I can't do anything without my trusty mouse sidekick. I laugh and clap my hands. I shower quickly and come out to find Gabe isn't on the floor anymore. Hopefully he's in the kitchen already. Rushing downstairs, I walk into a full kitchen. Alpha and Luna are sitting at the table. Next to him are his beta and his mate. Even the gamma is already here. Mavy and Shane are busy talking about something in the corner. Alpha Joshua looks up at me. You okay, dear? He asks as Gabe signals me over. Good morning, Alpha Luna. I bow my head. Yeah, sorry, I'm late. I had a long night and my alarm didn't wake me up. I told him before putting my backpack away and heading over to Gabe. He motions to the coffee jug and I walk around the table and fill everyone's cups. When I reach Shane, I noticed he had his AirPods in and I wouldn't have to worry about his attention. I dropped my head and filled his cup quickly. My hands were shaking, making me nearly spill the coffee on the table. Alpha Joshua smiled as I filled his cup. Luna looked up at me and reassured me there wasn't a rush and to take my time. Mavy and her parents have always been kind people. What went wrong with Shane? Images of his eyes focused on fingering me make me blush. I'm gratefully distracted when Gabe comes over, holding a tray of dishes. He picks up a plate and places them in front of the Alpha and the Luna first, then hands their kids their plates. The smell of eggs, bacon, sausages, and pancakes makes my mouth water. You got to work quickly. I smirk at him. Gabe cocks his head to the side, hand on his hip. Oh, sugar, I got all the fixings, he says in a country accent. After we placed everyone's plate on the table, we happily walked to the counter and started making our plates. Can you even eat right now, Gabe? I whisper to him. Looking over at his plate, he's grabbing 3 of everything. I placed what I wanted onto my plate and sighed in pleasure. The best part of the day is good food. Nothing like a nice meal to fill the belly. I can always eat, Addy. He smiles at me. After we finished eating breakfast, everyone had their own side conversations going. I could feel their excitement about the Crescent Ball, and the topic of all of the newly aged wolves finding their mate was heavy at the table. After Gabe and I cleaned up, we got ready for school. I asked Gabe for a ride to school. Mind taking me before you crash? I ask while trying to give my best puppy dog eyes. I got you, girl. I'll meet you in my car at 10. Don't be late. The ride to school was relaxing. We had the windows down and the cool breeze was welcome on this hot day. Gabe dropped me off at school with a few minutes for me to run to class. Thanks, Gabe, I say while hopping out. Don't forget I'm going dress shopping with Mavy and Nikki before dinner, so I won't be helping prep today, I say apologetically. He rolls his eyes. I think I can manage without you, AD. He smiles. Let me know how it goes and send me pics of the dresses you try out in a batch, he says in a very convincing, overly feminine voice. School goes by quickly. I make sure to keep my nose in my books, listen to the teacher, and avoid Shane and his friends as much as possible. It was Friday, so the teachers made sure they assigned us something to do over the weekend. I groan as I remember Nikki is going to be doing my makeup today. It's not that I don't like dressing up and letting them doll my face up. I just hate letting others buy me clothes with money I didn't earn, and I know how expensive makeup is. Nikki only buys the best of the best. I remember seeing the price on the bottom of some of her stuff she brings to school, and it makes me queasy. It's like putting her money on my face, and I don't know if it even looks that good. Speak the devil's name and she shall appear. Nikki hops her head into my last class wearing denim shorts and a white V-neck t-shirt. Don't forget, we're all going to the pack house today after school. I need your face washed and ready. I'm creating art today. She sings songs like I could forget, I say as I roll my eyes. See you after class, I call after her as she walks away. Thank you, Daddy. After I ran home, I assumed Nikki and Mavy would have made it by now. I decided to call Mavy and see how much time I had before they arrived. Hey, Adea. I could hear Mavy smiling through the phone. Hey, Chica, are you ready for your makeup sesh? Nikki yelled. I was calling to see where you guys are, I asked sheepishly. We're grabbing some snacks and then we'll be home in a bit, Mavy said. Do you want anything? Nikki yells. I'm good, I don't want anything. I'll see you soon, I told her before hanging up. Thanks to the run, I got some me time and wind down a bit. The sounds of the forest always work to calm my nerves. The smell of the dirt and wind was like a sedative. I had enough stress over what happened with Shane in the gym. I decided that tonight I'm going to go with the flow and enjoy some much needed girl time. I head into the pack house and automatically go to the kitchen. It's too early for dinner prep, so it's empty. Next, I run to the bathroom and wash my face clean for Nikki to work on. The deafening music heard echoing through the halls alerted me to Nikki's arrival. The noise gets closer and the door bursts open. The fun has arrived, Nikki sings out loud. Turn the music down, Nikki. I don't want my dad to come in here, she says. Mavy's carrying a ring light and bags of goodies, while Nikki is carrying bags of makeup. Are you going to war? Why and how do you have so much makeup? I laugh. Because I am, Nikki says, matter-of-factly. You're so dramatic, I snort. Hey, trust the process, she says confidently. Set the ring light up there, Maeve, Nikki orders. I love how Nikki doesn't let the werewolf rules control her. Nikki sets her bags down on my table and starts opening up her supplies. This is a primer. I also bought different colours of foundation to see what matches you. Your eyes are so pretty, Adea. I can't wait to give you wings. Gah. I look over at Mavy for help, but she's ripping open a bag of gummy worms. She shrugs at me as she pops a few in her mouth. Nikki gets started on my face and I feel like a doll being pampered. I wasn't allowed to look in the mirror, but I felt like I was wearing a mask. You don't need makeup, but girl, you did the assignment, she says proudly. Check it out, she squeals to me and Mavy. I look in the mirror and am blown away. The girl staring back at me has wingtip wide eyes. My hair is framing my face and she didn't go heavy on the makeup. It doesn't look too different, but that she outlined my face and my lips look lush and pink. You look amazing, Adea, Mavy says. Let's get out of here. We have a lot to get done today. Mavy smiles as Nikki puts her ammo away. 2 hours later, it's 6 o'clock, and we've tried on almost every dress in this mall. Try this one next, Adea. We have to find the perfect one, Mavy says as she throws the dress on the bench. She's trying on a long white dress with a slit going almost all the way up to her hip. There are spaghetti straps and a low cut showing off the curves of her boobs. Oh my gosh, sis, that one is beautiful on you, Nikki whispers with excitement. I reach over to look at the price and my jaw drops. She grabs the tag and looks at the price. Hey, we are not doing that. We are enjoying our hunt and the right dress is never too much. Mavy smiles. Who spends $2,000 on a dress? I ask in shock. She shoots me a glare. I mean, you look amazing in it, I tell her. Now I just need shoes, she says as she turns around and walks out of the dressing area. I look at Nikki's dress and let out a whistle. Oh my gosh, is that your dress? I ask her in awe. It also has spaghetti straps, but her dress is black and so sheer it almost looks see-through. She gives me a half smile and does a sin. The slit is going up the back and stops right below her ass. The chest area cuts low below her tits, and it's somehow keeping her chest pushed up and together, even though there's nothing keeping the dress together. If you were a werewolf and your mate saw you at the ball, I wouldn't be surprised if they took you right there on the ballroom floor. I laugh at her. She smiles at me proudly. Thank you, thank you. I try. She winks before sashaying into her dressing room. I look down at the dress Mavy threw down for me to try. It's red and feels like silk. The cut in the front doesn't look too low. I think I might like this one. I slip off my jeans and hoodie, step into the dress and pull it up and put my hands into the sleeves. It's a perfect fit. I look at my reflection in the mirror. Wow, I murmur. My shoulders are bare and the sleeves fall on my arm. The cut on my chest goes halfway down my boobs and it hugs my curves. The slit goes up the front past my thigh and falls just below my ankles. Nikki and Mavy walk into my dressing room at the same time. Mavy's jaw drops and Nikki's eyes grow wide with surprise. Lord have mercy, Adea. You look. She stops, clearly speechless. I blush at their gaze. I think this is the one, I tell them. You're damn right that's the one, Nikki squeals. Don't be. Shy, turn around and give us a twirl. I slowly turn around. It's perfect, Adea. I think black heels would be the best to wear with it, Mavy says with a smile on her face. If you find your mate, he's going to thank the goddess for blessing him with you, Nikki says. I change and Mavy helps me pick out the right heels to go with the dress. Nikki will do your makeup the same way too. I can't wait for the ball. I wish it was tomorrow, Mavy tells me. After we find our shoes, we go to check out and Mavy has me wait with Nikki at the door. All done, she says as she walks to us with the bags. We both reach out and grab our stuff from her. Thank you, Mavy, Nikki and I said at the same time. Oh, it's not on me, it's on Daddy, Mavy says with a huge smile. Thank you, Daddy, we call out as we walk out of the store. We head to the Palisades restaurant for dinner and enjoy a posh meal. On Alpha and I don't think about money and enjoy the rest of the night with my girls. Later that night, after a nice cool shower, I lay my head down and have a dreamless sleep. You are mine. Trigger warning. This chapter includes sexual violence that may not be suitable for some readers. The next morning, I woke up feeling light and bubbly. I love those girls. After a warm shower, I spent my morning prepping a light breakfast for the pack house in case they stopped in for a small meal. I usually have the weekends to myself because everyone is usually doing their own thing. I spent the rest of my morning in the library. The walls were decorated with tall shelves filled with books. My favourite spot was a soft white lounge chair by the window. The windows started from the floor and almost went all the way up to the ceiling. It was always quiet in the library. Not many of the she-wolves came in here to read. By 3 p.m, I had read 3 books. My body was feeling stiff, so I sat up to stretch. The door to the library swung open and Shane came walking into the room. He scanned the library until he spotted me in the corner. Good afternoon, he greeted me. Hi, I replied, not taking my eyes off the book as he walked closer and kneeled down beside me. Where have you been all day? I didn't see you around, he asked. As I flicked through the book, I couldn't focus on reading anymore. You're looking at it, I said, moving his hand off my leg. The library is silent while I ignore him, but I can feel his gaze on me. Look at me, he said, grabbing my chin and turning my face to him. He looked amazing, like usual. His dark eyes staring into my soul. His high cheekbones and plump lips were enough to make any girl swoon. Remembering what he did to me, I shake my head. I'm trying to concentrate, Shane, I declared, pulling my face from his grasp. I continue flipping through the book when I feel his hand on my leg again. I pluck up the courage and turn to him. What the fuck was that? His obsidian eyes search my face. Don't you have a lot of girls you can play around with? I whisper, yell at him. His eyes light up and the tips of his lips curl into a smile. Everyone knows that Shane has been fooling around with girls for a few years now. He's basically a man whore. I close my eyes, trying to compose myself. This afternoon didn't happen, I say when I open my eyes. Are you mad about that? He asks, leaning in. I won't give him the satisfaction. I still couldn't hear my wolf yet, but I know that I was hurt. He scares me, and I can't have that happening again. Those girls were weeks ago, Adea. I used them to fulfill my natural impulse to mate. I have needs, and they met them, he explains. You can do that, Shane, with someone else. I look him in the eyes. I'm waiting for my mate. Irritation flashed in his eyes. I could be your mate, he says, his voice deepening. You're allowed to have a past, Shane. I'm not your mate, I say. His hand moves to my thigh. I grasp his hand and try to push it away. I can't help wanting you, Adea. I've wanted you for years, and I did a terrible job of trying to show you I wanted more, he explains, putting his hand back on my thigh. I look at him. He's looking at me earnestly. I could be your mate, he says again. I let out a sigh, closing my eyes, trying to make it make sense. Didn't you enjoy yourself? He murmurs as he leans in. His breath on my neck causes me to freeze up. The thoughts of his fingers on me flash through my mind. Then I remember the guilt. I'm sorry, he cuts me off. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry. I feel like I don't even know you. I stare at him in disbelief. When was it okay to do that to somebody, Shane? This is not okay. You can't. He grabs me by the back of my neck and pushes himself in between my legs. I'm next in line to be alpha of this hack, Adea. I've got alpha blood running through my fucking veins. I can do whatever the fuck I want to and sleep with who I want to. I'm not just a pawn in your game, Shane. I look down when his gaze becomes too much. I want to do those things with my mate. It feels wrong, Shane. I whisper as I feel his alpha aura falling onto me. Do I need to remind you of your place, Adea? He says in a low voice. I can feel him trying to get me to submit. I will fight it. Please leave me alone, I hissed. Beads of sweat start forming on my skin. Leave you alone. He leans into my neck. Submit to me, he commands. He's so strong, I can't fight it. I fell to my knees, my head bent, my neck offered in submission. Tears spring to my eyes. I can't believe he's using his alpha power on me. This is how you should be in front of me. Down on your knees, offering yourself to me, he murmurs. I hear him shuffle and I gasp when his shorts fall to the ground. He steps closer to me and trails a finger down my neck. So beautiful, he says. I close my eyes and fight back tears. His finger trails my neck and he grips a handful of my hair. He pulls my hair, bringing my eyes up to meet him. He pulls his cock out with his other hand and slides his hand up and down his shaft. His breathing picks up as I stare into his eyes. Now please your alpha, he commands, his eyes airing me to disobey. He pulls me towards his hardened length. I've never done anything like this with anyone before, I whisper. Not only do I not want to be doing this, but I don't even know where to fucking start. I can barely move my body and his force on me is tiring me out. Lick it, he encourages me. I stare at his cock. It's 8 inches, at least 3 fingers thick. I open my mouth and slide my tongue across his tip. I look up at him and watch as his eyes close. I lick halfway down his shaft up to his tip as pre-cum drips from his tip. He groans as he looks down. Losing his patience, he shoves his cock past my lips. He pushes Eep into my mouth. Lick it while I fuck your mouth. Fighting the tears from falling, I lick his tip while he starts moving back and forth. His grip on my hair is starting to hurt as his cock fills my throat. My throat is constricting and I feel pain as he continues to thrust into my mouth. I grip his waist to try and push him back, but he slams into my throat and I cry out. His moans fill the library. Fuck, Adea, your throat was made for me. His pace is quickening and his cock feels like it's getting harder. I shut my eyes to try and drown out the pain I'm feeling in my throat. I watch as Shane's cock disappears completely and I try to relax my throat. He pulls all the way out and slams into my throat over and over again. His waist is going back and forth and his movements turn into small jerks. His head tilts back and he groans as I feel his cum slide down my throat. Swallow, he groans. And he keeps moving as he finishes. Shane lets go of my hair and leans down, pulling up his shorts. I just can't leave you alone, Adea. I look up at him as his eyes burn into mine. He reaches down and wipes my tears away. You've pleased your alpha, he says, and I can feel his hold on me disappear. He reaches down and touches my lips. I'll leave right now, but I'm not leaving you alone, Adea. You are mine. He kisses my forehead and turns on his heel, leaving me on the library floor.